Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts. We do another breakdown, another demo. This is Rogue Legacy for the PlayStation 4. Now this is a limit run physical copy, so getting a copy will not be the easiest. Now this Rogue Legacy from Limit Run comes with the update version 1.04 on disc. Now this update it's just a couple more bug fixes. It doesn't display all the information in the update section, but it's just like cross save where you had to do it manually instead of it doing it automatically. It's probably just more of a safety thing so that way data can't be lost in that area, but there's probably a lot more updates and fixes and alterations than just what you saw in that update history. Also, Rogue Legacy is available on the Nintendo Switch, but it's also a limit run physical copy as well, so it's going to be quite hard. There were no updates available since the making of this video as well, so the PS4 version and most likely the Vita version is the fullest updated version of the game, which is extremely nice. Now, I've actually played Rogue Legacy as one of the PlayStation Plus free game downloads you were able to get, and it was just one of those games I just tried it out before when I had PlayStation Plus, and I just got really hooked to it. So I was there day one when I heard that the Limit Run was going to print a physical copy out, and I just wanted to get a physical copy of it. Rogue Legacy is your typical roguelike kind of style game. You just play it, and every time you go progress through it, you'll get a little better, and then every time you die, you'll have to run through the dungeon again, and everything will be changed. It's your typical Rogue Legacy. Or roguelike, sorry. But Rogue Legacy does put a little spin to it, where every time you die, whatever gold you had left, you can put experience for your next offspring, like your next children, and so they'll have a better attack, maybe better equipment, and so forth. But every generation will have different traits, or it can be a different class. So that way, every time you play it, sometimes it's going to be completely different. Some of your kids could be blind, or some of them will have 2 left hands, or one will be a barbarian, while one will be a wizard. They all have different spells as well, so they all have different functions. And as you progress, you unlock more abilities and so forth. It's just your normal progression. But the point of the game is that you'll unlock more and more and more as you play, so death is inevitable, so don't complain that you died. You're going to die, and it's just part of the game. But the main functions of the game is, of course, your gold. The best thing to do is just, of course, increase any altitude of increasing your amount of gold you get, and any way to have to pay less in the fine. See, now every time you die and you keep the gold, before you can go back into the dungeon again, you have to give up all your gold. But you can have an upgrade tree area where you can cut that down by 10%, 20%, and all the way up to 50%. So making sure you can retain your gold, and keeping the most gold is your main focus at the beginning of the game, or just trying to make sure you can get the most out of your time and money. As I said, the game is a roguelike, so sometimes you're going to go through it and it can be pretty breezy, and sometimes you go through it and it just seems like they're throwing everything at you. You go in the game, there's 4 sections, you fight a boss in that section, and it unlocks a section of the door, and that secret door allows you to progress further in the game, and so forth. It's not really anything interesting in terms of story. It's nothing really new or amazing in it, but its mechanics and functions and its reward system is what keeps you going and keep coming back to it. I do want to admit that due to how many times you die, it doesn't change a whole lot in its beginning area, so you'll get really bored and tired of seeing the beginning area quite quickly, because it's just the area you're going to see a lot since you're going to die a lot. I wish they would have done something maybe to change it up a little bit in that department, but in the end, you, like me, you'll probably just be addicted to it and just keep going at it until you can unlock the most strongest version you can get and have all your abilities unlocked and so forth. It's just a fun progression system in the game. Of course, you can get better equipment by better armor, swords, capes, and other so forth, as well as you'll find ruin stones that will give you special abilities like the ability to double jump, slide, as well as obtaining more gold or make enemies weaker or stronger. It's just a variation there. The one thing I thought was really cool was once you've unlocked all the equipment or unlocked all the gems, those chests are no longer just useless or give you gold. They actually give you permanent stat upgrades. So next time you open that chest, it'll give you a +1 to attack or a +5 to health, and it's permanent. So you don't have to, every time you go open up a new chest, you just get more stronger and stronger. Like I said, the game is strongly focused on a progression feeling where every time you play, you're getting a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger. It's some reason it's a very addictive and very rewarding game, and it's just worthy to have in your collection in that department, with some very good music, and the graphics are not that bad for a typical Metrovania roguelike style indie game. I particularly really like this game, and I'm really glad to have it on my shelf. So whether you choose to get like the Switch version or the PS4 version, it's really up to you. I mean, I'm just glad to have a physical copy of this game, 'cause this game really is amazing. The only disappointing thing I could say is that, of course, it was a limit run physical copy. So again, it's lame that a good game like this can only be available for such a small group of people who are there to pick it up, as the game is really good and should be widely available to many people. I know some collectors prefer things to be rare and limited. To me, I've always loved it when everyone can get a copy, everyone can enjoy that game, because collecting to me is about sharing and expressing and being able to feel that love and the enjoyment of collecting these games with everyone, not just a select few. But that's just my personal opinion, and Rogue Legacy is just one of those other great games I'm really glad to have on my shelf. So I will try to leave links down in the description if you're interested in a copy. In my opinion, yes, it's well worth your time to pick up. But of course, don't spend outrageous amount of money to get a copy. You can still buy it digitally if you just want to just take a look at it to see if it's worth your time to try to get it to your collection, even if you have to pay a higher price. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next unboxing video. Bye-bye!